Hey there, buddy. How do you feel?
Oh, been better, that's for sure. What is this place? And shit. Who are you?
Don't worry, not an illusion. There's a perfectly rational explanation to this. Just let me ask you some control questions first, okay?
Sure. Fire away.
Do you remember your name?
Yeah. Jan. Dolsky.
And what's your role on this mission?
I'm a refinery operator. Oh, you look like me, but also not like me. Are we brothers or something?
We have the same DNA, but we led separate lives. So, in a way, you could say so.
In a way? Whatever you're trying to tell me, stop beating around the bush, okay?
All right then. You're my alter. I created you with the use of rupidium.
Rupidium?
Yeah, we did it. It's here.
Wow. You hear that, Ben?
Ben? What Ben?
Huh? Oh, never mind. Hey, wait. What was that you said about creating me?
Look, you've obviously still not recovered from the shock. Why don't you rest a little and read the mission logs? They'll put it in perspective. We can talk more when the meds wear off.
The meds. Yeah, that explains a lot. Not everything, but I feel like there's something more to this feeling of being so light, weak, you know?
Just relax and take it slow. You'll feel stronger in no time.
Okay, yeah. Maybe. And hell, I can't wait to see Rupidium.
You will soon. I promise.
I'm also Jan, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
Cheers. Sometimes I wish everyone was as easygoing as you.
Can't get rid of you.
Hey man, you're clearly angry.
Meaningless small talk will only make me more angry.
So maybe we can talk about something meaningful. What calms you down?
Punching that smirk of yours would definitely do the trick. But if you really need to know, walking it off, I guess.
And that's it? Sounds like postponing the detonation.
If I tell you it works, it works. Hey man, want me to lend a hand with this? care of this now?
So, had enough time to come to terms with the situation?
I'm fine, thanks. There's not much that can bring me down. But I still feel much weaker than usual. Funny, earlier today I tried to lift a container and I couldn't.
Remember, you're not alone here. If anything's too heavy to lift, you can always ask for help.
Kind of you to say that, but that's not what's bugging me. Physical strength is a part of who I am. Not to mention, it's essential to operate the refinery.
Being strong seems to matter a lot to you.
A little extra confidence never hurt anyone. Not that it was ever my priority. I just like the physical activity. It helped clear my head of problems.
Your problems are gone here. It's a chance to wipe the slate clean.
Maybe, but I still can't get my head around one thing.
What's that?
Like, if everything that happened to me isn't true, then does that apply to the people I knew too? I mean, do they exist, but in some different version as well?
It's possible, yes.
Huh. So, hypothetically, someone who in my mind is, let's say, dead could actually still be alive?
Hypothetically?
Totally.
It's really hard to say. The variables are almost infinite.
That's overwhelming. Shit. I think I need to get my mind on something else.
Good idea. Focus on the work. We still have a lot to do before we get out of here.
Right. Work. Sure. See you around then.
This now?
We are surrounded. Damn it. So much for Plan B. This? It's triggering the alert in my suit. I need to learn more about this thing. Getting a little cramped in our storage, Jan. There's something I want to share.
Look at this beauty. Jan gave me my old lucky multi-tool. Okay, I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it.
Holy shit. What now?
I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve?
So now I'm smart, huh?
Well, actually, I do have an idea.
We could build a research lab and see if we can come up with anything useful there.
Okay, let's give it a go. Hey there. You wanted to talk about something?
Yeah, I've been thinking about the branching thing. It's so confusing.
Tell me about it.
I mean, remember how I told you about my body? The one I know versus this one? Well, I don't get it. Why is it exactly that we're created with different minds, like, different beverages or snacks, but then we all end up in the same packaging? It doesn't make much sense.
Well, it's not the packaging that matters most. It's the content.
That's what they say. But you don't brew ale only to pour it into plastic bottles. My skills, my whole personality derives from a certain lifestyle, and that makes my mind and body inseparable. That's how it feels to me.
Huh. I never looked at it that way.
I know, and honestly, I find it a little hard to understand. I mean, how can you be so careless about your body? It's the only one you'll ever have, man. Why'd you let it become so neglected?
I guess I just had more important things to do. Studying, settling down, buying a house.
Funny. Now that I look at it, you probably didn't have my motivation.
Which was?
Well, for me, it all started when I moved abroad. After Mom died, I decided to stay there, and for a while it was pretty lonely out there.
Didn't you have friends?
Not at first, no. You can laugh, but I was a little apprehensive to jump into a new environment. It was just work and sleep, some bad eating habits.
So that's when you started working out?
Out of boredom at first. Then, kind of became a fun thing. I made friends, started going out a lot, but by that time, the gym had become an important part of my routine. I drank less, slept better, and it just made me feel in control of my life,
I get you. Now that you've told me the whole story.
Thanks. Maybe if I could get back to my routine here, at least in some way, it could really help me shake off all this anxiety. I'd probably sleep better, feel more like me. Do you think there's a chance you could help me get my hands on some exercise equipment here?
I could try.
Really? Thanks, bro. I knew I could confide in you.
Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found rupidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but... failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my alters? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rupidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rupidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
No. I'm glad I did it.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rupidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Thanks.
Of course, I would lie to you if I said your work is done. You've probably noticed how different rupidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
you're afraid the rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a rupidium ark should be your primary focus now.
Listen, you're very convincing, but I'm afraid I just won't have the time to do it. I need to find a way forward before the sun comes up.
You're losing faith easily. Look how far you've come. You survived the landing. You found rupidium. Then you branched yourself and managed to get the base moving. Would you really be happy with yourself if it all went to waste?
Waste? Wow. Is that what you consider saving my life?
Your life, my life. Let's face it. All it is a predetermined string of events, distorted with myriads of random, meaningless decisions. We spend centuries looking for some kind of sense in it, some kind of meaningful pattern or recipe. Still, no satisfactory answer comes. Until, once in hundreds, maybe thousands of years, a chance appears to make a leap in our understanding of reality.
What can I say?
I don't know. But whatever you make of it, let me bare my soul to you. I think these are rare moments that matter. So, enough talking. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the alters.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
And we will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within Ally Corp. But for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
No. I'm good.
Rapidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with a remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.